Love chatting about spiritual awakening? Want to learn more about connecting with source energy and allowing the universe to act on your behalf? Well, grab a beverage and welcome in the weekend with Lindsay every Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. on her show, Card Pulls and Coffee, as she channels messages from the divine realm or chats with a guest. Lindsay is a mindset coach, intuitive channel, and energy clearing practitioner. If you're feeling stagnant, overwhelmed, or full of self-doubt, Lindsay will guide you to come back to remembering who you really are. Join Lindsay here on WLFE DB Radio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show tonight. So happy to be here with you. My name is Lindsay Amico. For anyone that doesn't know me, I'm an intuitive channel, a mindset coach. I'm an emotional clearing practitioner. I'm a certified spiral practitioner, which is a process that deeply clears rooted emotions in our chakra system. So I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, and I bring it all together so that you can really realize deeply who you are, have been, and always will be forever. That you can realize that you are not your trauma, you are not your limiting belief stories, you are not what has happened in your life. You are truly source power, source energy, inspiration, creativity, you name it, joy, happiness. You are life. You are forever love. Everything, anything that you want to create in this world, you can. Any desire that you have in this world, it was given to you by source, universe, God, intuition. Josh, my husband, calls it the force, whatever you want to call it. And I just want to help you to get back connected into that. So tonight, I'll be pulling cards as usual. Say hello as you're hopping on. Hi, Melody. Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah, I did my hair. Hello, Robert. Good to see you. Say hello as you're hopping on. Let me know if you would like a card pull. I have my beautiful friend Sarah with me that I'm about to bring on, and she is also an intuitive channel. So we will be partnering together to bring messages from source. If you feel called to, fabulous. If you don't, that's just as good. You can also watch this on WLFEDB.com. It's really cool because now they are replaying episodes. So if you're vibing with this, you're loving on this, but then you're like, I have to go, you can just go back on there and watch the repeat. Hello, Patricia. Yes, absolutely. We can do a card pull for you. Please feel free to follow me. You can join my free Facebook group, Rock Your Fear. You can like Picture Perfect Mind on Facebook. And I am now expanding my YouTube channel. So if you go on YouTube, you can search for Lindsay Amico. You'll find card readings. Today, I actually just did a new one all about the Aries new moon energy. And please feel free to share this, tag a friend that you think would be interested in the show. And of course, follow, like, and share on WLFEDB Radio. With that being said, I think I covered everything. And I think I'm going to bring my beautiful guest on, Sarah Smith. And here she is. Hello.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Welcome to Card Pulls and Coffee.
So good to be here. So excited.
I know. I'm so happy to have you. I don't have coffee tonight. It's funny because I'm obsessed with coffee, but every time I do the show, it's like I get so much energy from this that I just can't even handle it. So it's fine.
I feel that. I had a little bit of cold brew before, but I'm like, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
So I just want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself and really talk about what you do, what you talk about. You know, I know you're an intuitive channel. I know you're a spiritual leader, but I just want to hear it from you and for our audience to know.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Sarah. As Lindsay mentioned, I'm also an intuitive channel. This is a gift that I've had my whole life, and it's just grown over time. And the last couple years or so, it's really come to a culmination where I felt more and more called to be much more public about it and share my gifts much more with other people, and really begin to use my voice a lot more and share my experiences. Lindsay and I vibe a lot because we have very similar goals of being able to help people realize the truth of who they are, the power that they hold innately, and helping you realize that again. So currently, the main thing that I offer is doing readings. And I also have a free Facebook group called the Lionheart Center, which is a beautiful container if you are looking for a safe space to grow in your spiritual journey or really any walk of life. It's completely open to whoever feels drawn to it. There's a lot of ways to connect with me in that container as well.
I love it. I am currently popping it down into a banner so people can go back to that. Free Facebook group, all the free Facebook groups. And I just love this because it's like wherever you are on your spiritual journey or however you identify it, I feel like my labels for it are always changing in terms of my perception of where I'm at and, how my consciousness is expanding and changing and I'm learning new things. But wherever you are, just know that there are safe containers, whether it's Rock Your Fear, whether it's the Lionheart container, the Lionheart Center, or both. But there are people here that can help and support you through this journey, whether you are a medium, whether you're a channel, whether you're not even sure what's going on. Maybe you're just curious about, connecting to something greater than yourself, connecting to something that is connecting all things. Maybe you're just looking to become more spiritual, but that is something that you and I focus on a lot because I think when you're starting to question some of the belief systems you've had throughout your whole life, it can be scary because it's like, where can I ground? What do I actually know?
Absolutely. And as you mentioned in the preview for what we were going to talk about today, I'm currently going through the spiral with Lindsay. She's a spiral practitioner. This is my second time going through this process. And right now I'm in level 1, which is clearing shame, guilt, and dogma, and definitely making a lot of connections to what how dogma can influence us in our lives. And although there's nothing inherently wrong with it, and it could be a very beautiful way for people to have structure in their lives and feel a sense of safety, there can also be a time for a lot of people where they're ready to grow out of that and break out of that. And it can be difficult when it's layered with a sense of shame for asking certain questions and deciding maybe I don't believe in this anymore. And yeah, that can be a very difficult and sometimes even isolating process. You can feel very alone in that. So definitely if you are feeling that, if you feel like you're on some sense of awakening in your life right now, definitely reach out to Lindsay or I, or find these containers where you know that you're not alone in that journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's like, I feel like our identity is so closely rooted with our belief system and dogma and rules. And I mean, I even remember just going to college and being exposed to so many different kinds of people. I grew up in Tonawanda, New York, and then all of a sudden I was in Boston and I was meeting all different people of all different backgrounds, all different religions. And it was a wake-up call to be like, oh, okay, so this is not the only thing that is the truth. That was just my perception of the world.
Right.
So it's like with each phase of life, you're just kind of opened up. And sometimes, depending on what you're learning, I think it's easier to absorb than others.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. And I had a very similar experience with kind of expanding and breaking out of the box that I was told to stay in and realizing like, oh, there's so much more out there that I want to explore, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's really beautiful. It's a beautiful
Hmm.
process. And I'm happy to be in a space where I'm forever learning and not trying to get to a point where I know everything. And
Right.
some days I feel like I figured out the secret key to life, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is going to change everything. And then
Right.
other days I'm like back at, it's like spirit or source or whatever you call it is going to push you back down a little bit once you're like, oh, I've reached here. It's like, actually, no, you haven't.
No,
Here's a
yeah.
new
You
level.
thought you did, but no, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Which is also, you know, that can be a really beautiful thing, and that's part of life. That's a part of this journey. But
That's why we're
yeah.
here. That
Right,
is why we're
exactly.
here.
Exactly.
So I actually wanted to go in. So hello to everyone that's hopping on. Hi, Moosey. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Renetha. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. So Renetha was um, basically in spiral practitioner training, my, what would you call it, group leader. And she
Hmm.
is amazing. She's also a spiral practitioner. She has such a grounding presence. I love her so much. Definitely reach out to
Awesome.
her. She's so amazing. She would like a card as well, so we can do that for you. So I just quickly, I think what we can do is get more into talking about the spiral. Sarah is actually the one that introduced me to the spiral. And the second that she started to describe it, I was like, I need to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and I remember that moment. It was like we were in the Spot Coffee Cafe, and I was like, yeah, I'm going through this thing called the spiral, and just like talking about, I don't remember specifically the level I was in, but I was like explaining the process and like all the stuff, these connections I was making, and like clearing all this stuff, and I could just see like your
I was
wheels
like,
turning, and you were like, yeah, yeah, you were
I
like,
was like,
okay,
what?
all right, where can I do this? What can I, when can I do this? Yeah, it's a super super powerful process, and it's a way to go into the, I believe it's 22 base emotions, and clear those things. So you go through each chakra, which is each level. As I mentioned previously, I'm in level 1 right now, so we're clearing shame, dogma, and guilt. And when you work with a practitioner, they help you find what were the three main ages that these emotions locked into you, and where did this store in your body, and also connecting it to like, was there a certain event that happened, what beliefs did this create when this event happened. And it allows you to really move through these emotions as an observer, and having a safe container when you're working with a practitioner to do this. And on the other side of it, you have true free will, like a true sense of free will where you don't feel like certain events happen in your life or certain traumas that happened have a sense of control over the decisions you make. You're
Mhm.
able to take a step outside of it and say, okay, I want to choose something different for myself and for my life.
Absolutely. It's, the the longer I live in this world, um, the more that I realize that we're all children living in adult bodies, and we all have different levels of trauma experiences. But I believe no matter if your trauma is on a level 10 to a level 1, we've all been there. If our parents yelled at us for spilling milk, and that in itself was a traumatic experience,
Mm-hmm.
and it's settled in our body to say, I need to make sure I don't make a mistake. I need to
Right.
make sure I am loved and accepted. And it's so interesting how these beliefs and these emotions settle into our system. And then we just don't realize that we're acting from these energetic levels. So it's like we can only go so far in our
Mm-hmm.
lives before we're hitting walls. So it's like, if you want to start a business and you keep coming back to, but I don't look good on camera, or no one's signing up to work with me, or I don't even know where to start, or I'm not smart enough to do that, or I don't have the money to do that, or I'm never going to have the money, or I'm not likable, right? It's all of these things. And sometimes they're not, they're subconscious. They're not even
Right.
conscious. And
Right.
until we start to go through this process of discovering, and with curiosity and with affection, with love, instead of, I need to resolve this, I need to fix this, there is something wrong with me. It's like, no, we are just energy. We are energy and playing in this beautiful life. And it's like, once we can bring awareness to that, that is the key.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like you mentioned, a lot of this can be subconscious where we don't even realize the patterns that we're stuck in. And again, that's why this process is so powerful, because it really gives you the empowerment to see the patterns clearly and choose a new one and break out of whatever you feel is holding you back.
It
So
gives
yeah,
you the
it's a
power.
very, very empowering. Very empowering.
Because so many of us in this world, and not judging this, it's just so true, and it's on different levels for all of us, but we are living from a space of unawareness. We are living from a space of limiting belief systems, and we have perceptions of everything. We're all coming from our own filing cabinet, and there's no right or wrong filing cabinet. But if you're coming from your filing cabinet of your experiences, and you find yourself not creating the life and the reality that you actually want, then you just have an opportunity to heal and to shift and to observe and do the work. And is the work easy? Absolutely not. That's why we're kind to ourselves.
Yeah, yep. And that's also why it's so important to find support, because it's not, if you decide to go on this journey, as much as it is empowering and rewarding, and I feel like the deeper you go, the more fruits of your labor that you're able to enjoy. It's always worth it, but it's not an easy process. And that's why you don't want to go this journey alone. If you decide, even if it's not spiral, even just in general,
Absolutely.
in your life, if you're saying, okay, you know what, I'm trying to dive into this stuff, trying to do shadow work, I'm trying to, as Carl Jung says, I'm going to paraphrase, but if the unconscious doesn't become conscious, it's going to rule our life, and we're going to call it fate. And that's why it's so important to go into this and take the power back. And again, with compassion, we're not demonizing ourselves for this, but if you're wanting to move into higher levels of your life and more full expressions of yourself and living as authentic as you can in this lifetime, that's the way to go.
I love it. And then, so I want to just ask you, what pulled you to do the spiral? Like, I know you got the sign, you were like, this is something I just need to do. But what were you experiencing in your life at that time where you were like, I know that there are things to clear. I know that there are some walls that I'm hitting. I know there's something happening in the unconscious. What did that look like for you?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I'm definitely so I'm a stellium Scorpio. So I have tons of Scorpio in my chart. I love deep diving as deep as I can. So for me, it's like this, when I saw this process, I was like, ooh, like it just
You're
instantly,
like,
yeah, like instantly resonated with me. I'm like, how deep can we go? Like, but yeah, at that point in my life, because I did about 2.5 years ago, I have felt the call. Like I mentioned earlier, I have felt this culmination into stepping into using my voice, into really helping and leading others. And it was like I felt this bottled up inside of me. A lot of it was with my voice and with my expression and being able to like just vocalize things and even come on camera and like talk to people. It was like I had all this information inside of me that I've been collecting over my life through my experiences, through like diving into the darkness, trying to extract wisdom from it. And but I just felt really stuck where I was like not able to share that yet. And it was getting like frustrating, or I felt like
Yeah,
I
it was
kept
like
hitting
this
this wall.
pressure's building. This pressure's building.
Right. And yeah, and then I saw what the spiral was. I first got the book Clear Your Shit,
Yes.
which the creator wrote that book. So if you're interested in like learning more about what the spiral is before even like if you decide you don't want to take the dive into it, but you want to know more about it, it's a great book. Really helps you understand your emotional states more and how they can affect you. And I believe it does give processes too to like self-clear,
Yes.
which is awesome. So I did that first, totally resonated. And I ended up going to Leah Steele and was in her container and did the process with her. And it was absolutely super transformative. I felt this whole layer shed from me, of why I was keeping myself small for so long. And I felt like I was able to begin to really step into myself fully and my expression a lot more fully.
Yeah.
And there's always more layers. So
Yeah.
it's like, how deep do you want to go? You can keep deciding to go deeper or not. It's your free will and choice. But yeah, I felt this huge clearing within me, and I was like, all right, let's go.
Absolutely. And another thing I wanted to mention, since Renetha is on and watching, or was on, but something that hit me so much to try to understand the spiral and what it is, was it's kind of like acupuncture, but energy healing. It's like it can be virtual, it can
Mm-hmm.
be it's a modality that combines coaching and um the chakra system and the Chinese meridians and all of the stuff that Dane Thomas went through. But it truly is like when you go to an acupuncturist and they're able to identify what is going on in your body when you can't really see, okay, this causes this and this causes this. It's a way to just dive a little deeper. And if you can get yourself to a point where you realize, like, you just have this moment of decision where
Mm-hmm.
you're like, I don't want to continue to replay the same cycles over and over and over. We replay cycles, I believe. Like I said, we're never going to get to a space of elevation and enlightenment where we're like, I'm all set. That's after we die.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, okay, I know everything.
Yeah, that's not
But
for this realm.
it's not for this realm. Absolutely. Uh-oh, your picture
Ooh.
went away, Sarah. I'm just going to shut my door really quick too.
There we go.
There you go. But it's this, do I want to repeat the cycle here over and over and over again? Or do I want a process that can just accelerate that and allow me to quantum leap and allow me to project forward into who I am, have been, and always will be? So whether it's the spiral, whether you're working with a coach, whether you're working with a therapist, maybe you're combining all of these things, whatever speaks to you, if it's Reiki, if it's meditation, if it's a certain YouTube channel, if it's listening to something like this, like knowing that all of those things, whatever aligns with you is perfect in this moment.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. It has to be something that you feel called to do or that resonates with you. And that's with everything. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm going to do a quick commercial break and then we can pop on and do some of these card pulls.
Okay.
Renetha.
Excited.
Oh, if someone's on and wants a card pull and hasn't said so yet, just let us know.
Let us
And then we're
know.
going to go even deeper down the rabbit hole.
Yes.
Love it. Welcome back to Card Pulls and Coffee. I have my friend Sarah Smith here, who is a spiritual leader and an intuitive channel. We're going to pull a couple of cards now. So the first person I have on our list is Patricia, I believe.
Awesome.
Yes.
So we're going to tag team it, right?
We're going to tag team it. I just put Patricia's
cool.
comment up so you can feel
Hi,
into her
Patricia.
energy.
Okay.
And yeah, anyone else that wants a card pull, just let us know. What do I use?
All right, I'm feeling the Sacred Rebels Oracle.
Oh, yeah.
So I just got this Oracle deck, you guys. This is a beautiful deck. It's by Alana Fairchild. She makes some of my favorite Oracle decks. Her cards are so deep. So I'll pull a card from this and we'll read the description. What's great about this too is it also comes with a ritual, a healing ritual to do at the end. So if you feel called to do that, you can do that. So, all right, for Patricia. What does Patricia need to know right now? Ooh. These cards are so beautiful too. Okay. Patricia, from my deck, the Sacred Rebel Oracle, you got big, bold vision. Look at how gorgeous this card is. Big, bold vision.
Oh, I love it.
So let me just look at this real quick. This is beautiful. I believe this is Goddess Isis too, with all the symbols on it.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it.
Awesome. So before I jump into the card description, I'm definitely feeling for you that you are feeling this culmination of this energy that has been building within you, that there's a vision in your life. I'm not even so much seeing it as something that you're sharing with other people quite yet, which is perfectly fine, but you're seeing, it's like your third eye and your vision is clearing. You're seeing things that maybe you haven't seen before or haven't noticed before. And I feel a lot in the heart chakra too. So there's a lot of healing energy that wants to come here. So if you are open to receiving that, maybe you already are receiving that, this heart chakra energy is really wanting to come in right now. And yeah, it feels so good. You're a very, very loving person, and love to share that with other people, which is really, really beautiful. And maybe there is with it saying big, bold vision, maybe you do have a vision or an idea that you feel like is too big to be a reality, that could share that love on a broader scale. So if that resonates with you, I'm sure this card is going to encourage you to step into that big, bold vision. So let's see what the card has to say.
Mm-hmm.
You were not born to play a small role in life. You have the ability to dream big. Even if you have absolutely no idea about how your visions can come to pass or what the details may look like, you can access the heart and guts of a vision by tapping into your wildest dreams and surrendering attachment to exactly how this will work out. The details are up to the creative genius of the universe. You are an active, contributing participant, but not the sole player in your life journey. There is something, a vision or idea, that is coming to you now. You may worry that it is too much for you, but don't worry. It is meant to be yours. Although you might have some adjustments to make, some tweaking to do as you let go of limiting thinking and open up to a fearless acceptance of bigger, brighter, more radical, and more potent possibilities of your life, a sign that you are cracking out of your limited thinking to allow for a big, bold vision to come to you. you might feel a little dizzy at times with the shrinking limitations and then expanding possibilities of life. So you might feel like you fluctuate between the two. You may wonder if you are allowed to access so much wonder. Remember that you are healing and growing success as you manifest this big vision. You can touch the hearts of others through your presence, your inner work, your art, and your choices. It's a win-win situation. Those that are meant to live big, bold, and visionary lives need to give themselves permission to break the mold and forge newer, more expansive perspectives of what is possible in this world, what is permitted, and what is of service to others. It's about letting go and opening up. Others will benefit from this. You are being asked to remember that when something is right for you, endless synchronicities and support will flow your way at the right time and in the right way. Stay open, receptive, playful, and surrendered. You are about to receive or be invited to become a part of a grand visionary beginning. It has the makings of something fantastic. No matter how the journey that brings this vision into reality unfolds, there will be some twists and turns that you may not see coming. It is still helpful for you to be open to it. Trust your heart and be still with your choices. When the time feels right and trustful, leap. This oracle also brings a message for those who would like to further develop their intuitive sight. It is already happening. Trust in what you perceive. Even if it conflicts with what everyone else around you is saying, trust your inner perceptions. They are accurate and will be proven to be so later. The healing process below will help you to do so. So I'll go into the healing process. But yeah, this is, wow. So the healing process, say aloud, I release all blocks to my vision. I release all beliefs, conscious or unconscious, stored in my body or mind that would have me belittle or minimize myself out of fear or ignorance. I choose to be bold, big, and bright, to vision with my heart and receive all the genius of the universe in supporting that vision and coming to life. So be it. Beautiful. Wow.
I like shut my eyes and listened to that because that was so powerful.
I know. I feel like I should say that again because I feel like for whoever's watching, this is like
it is for you.
Really,
if you just hopped on, you need to hear this.
Absolutely. So if you guys feel called to say this out loud, this is a great proclamation to make for yourself. I release all blocks around my vision. I release all beliefs, conscious or unconscious, stored in my body or mind that would have me belittle or minimize myself out of fear or ignorance. I choose to be bold, big, and bright, to vision with my heart and receive all the genius of the universe in supporting that vision coming to life. So be it.
So be it. Oh, yes. So I love this too because I got the path. So it's like you see this person at the bottom and it's like you see this end goal. So if you're someone that feels like you need to have the path all figured out or you overanalyze or you're just like, how is this going to come to light? Maybe you have intuitive nudges or you have creative knowings, or you're just like, I'd love to start this. I'd love to start a sewing business. I'd love to sell cupcakes. It doesn't matter. There's so much opportunity out in this world that is just waiting to be seized. We can have anything that we want. Start taking small steps towards that. It is being revealed to you. I also feel like you're a very loving person, and sometimes you feel like people take advantage of that, and just know that that love is power. I'm also hearing from source, I'm hearing dog like over and over again. So I don't know if you're a dog lover or if something's going on with your pup or if you're thinking of getting a dog, but that is for you. And then on the back of the deck, I love the card that Sarah pulled because it just feels like this same energy.
Ooh, yeah.
like power. Oh, literally, this card is power.
Love it.
So
Love it.
like, I think you question your power and you feel powerless, but through the surrendering into source and talking to source, talking to your guides, talking to your guidance system, listening to your intuition and listening to the messages that you've always had and will always have, you will tap into your true power. It's just that you were taught that if you're a nice person that you can't get very far.
Yeah, I feel that too. I think to add on to what Lindsay said, if there's a sense of feeling like people try to take advantage of that, it's a good time to set boundaries for yourself and make sure that you're containing that powerful heart energy that you have. And it's going to allow you to then build that charge within yourself. And then when this vision comes to full fruition, it's going to be able to burst forth.
Absolutely. I love it. Oh my gosh. So that is your reading, Patricia. Let us know if it resonated with you. Let us know if it lit you up, made you feel all the good feels. So next, let's go into Renetta, and then I have Melody. Let's do Renetta and Melody, and then we will get back into talking about how do you use your voice and how do you begin to speak about things in a world that is forever judgmental, or it's not truly judgmental, it's our perception, but being afraid of how you're going to be perceived.
Mm-hmm.
So Renetta is next.
Hi, Renetta. I think I'm going to do the Sacred Rebels for you too.
Yeah, Renetta.
I'm feeling it. Okay, what does Renetta need to know on her path right now? Ooh, this one. Wait. I love this.
Card.
Spirals of manifestation. Can't make it up.
Oh my God.
So, hi, spiral practitioner. Oh, I love that. Wow, okay.
Spirals
of manifestation.
Oh, I just got goosebumps. Yeah.
That's so good. Gotta love the synchronicities. They never get old. They happen all the time, and like every time they happen, I just like have to laugh and like
every single time.
Right, like no matter what. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay.
Oh, wait, before you get into it, Patricia said, "Thank you, Lindsay and Sarah. You gave me the answer to what I've been wanting to know for a long time."
Oh, I love that. You're so welcome, Patricia.
Sending you so much love and knowing that your love that you give so freely to others is always coming back to you. And that love is power.
Absolutely. And if you are looking for another container to be a part of to help grow your vision or gifts that you're feeling called to right now, look up the Lionheart Center and you can join that group. And I would love to support you in your journey.
Okay, so into Renetta's reading.
All right, Renetta. Show the card again. All these beautiful spirals. Okay, spirals of manifestation. The creative, rebellious path of love moves in spirals. It is not linear. Sometimes our mind decides that the way forward is to take clear steps from one point to the next logical point. However, there is a genius within that can guide us on an alternative route. If there is an unnecessary pothole or delay in the typical linear path of progression, and the curved loop in the path will be quicker, more fun, and more beautiful, then why not allow yourself to be guided to that path? This can happen through trust and wisdom rather than rigid adherence to what on the surface appears to be logical progression. You are in the midst of a spiral of manifestation. Something is coming into being, even if you think it is further away than ever before. How amazing it will seem when you have been dreaming falls into place. Suddenly, what you have been thinking of creating will plunk right into your reality, seemingly out of nowhere, because it was just around the corner, just out of view on the spiral of manifestation. You could not see it coming, but in truth, it was coming to you all along. This oracle has a message for you. Sometimes we feel the furthest away from what we want when we are actually the closest than ever before. Just one turn on the spiral loop of creation can see your manifestation taking root in the world. You must hold true to your faith and keep working in your progress. Forget about believing it when you are seeing it. Any old soul or young soul can do that. But you are bigger, braver, and a more ancient soul. You have enough power to believe it so that you can see it sooner, bigger, and brighter. Do not give in to those who tell you it should have happened already or that you have failed, or those voices that are saying that to yourself. They are suffering from a lack of patience and understanding, as well as an arrogant assumption that their notion of timing is somehow superior than the timing of the divine. All is unfolding perfectly, whether you feel it right now or not. This oracle also brings a message to you about the perfect synchronicities, which this is quite the synchronicity, that are taking place in your life. You may have started to notice these already. When we live from the heart, honor our creative center, and choose unlikely but lovingly rebellious ways to be in the world, we will begin to notice synchronicity every single day. This oracle reminds you that there is no point rushing to the bus stop. If you are way too early, you are just wasting your time. Better to live your life at a more appropriate pace and get there at just the right time. You don't need the anxiety that comes from rushing towards your destiny. Try not to worry quite so much about the future. You will attract what you want and need much more enjoyably if you relax and deal with the here and now. Remember, too, that your life path is unfolding in harmony with the paths of others. You will meet each other for the greatest benefit when you trust in the flow of the one great creative spiral upon which this galaxy spins. Everything is ultimately in harmony with everything else. You're indeed in this. The healing process or proclamation that you can make. Spirals of creation, spirals of light. You bring my manifestation to life. I trust in your wisdom and in your grace. Help me be wise and keep the faith. That's so awesome. Ooh, that is so powerful. So I could tell that you've clearly been in the midst of creating something for quite some time. And although the deeper part of you knows, your soul knows that you're on the right path, you feel you're following the steps, you're doing all the things, there's that sense of like, okay, but where is it? Like, why isn't it fully manifested yet? And that can be such a frustrating feeling. We have all been there. It can be so frustrating, but it's so true that typically when we're feeling the ansiest of like, where is it? It's right there. It's right around the corner and you're just not seeing it quite yet. And what's going to allow it to come in is having that state of surrender, knowing that all of the work that you've been putting in is absolutely worth it. It's going to come to fruition. And yeah, whatever this is, it's right around the corner. Just keep that faith.
And what a surprise. I got time reversed.
Are we surprised?
Are we surprised that we got time reversed? So yeah, I just feel like you've been feeling a bit impatient about something or just wondering if your work is paying off. And as we know, every single one of us as humans, this is something I go through all the time, especially if we're self-employed and we're just building towards something and we're like, is this really going to pan out as expected? We're trying to do it on our time versus on the divine's time. And it's something that I learn over and over and over again. So just to read this message, do you worry there's not enough time or you might be running out of it? Do you feel you are too late, too stressed, or too overwhelmed to get where you need to go? Arianrod, the goddess of time, has an alignment task for you. Breathe deeply and trust the process. Know that even if you are temporarily struggling, you will always have enough time to choose how you experience your reality. So That's what I come back to every day. It's like, this is something we were conditioned to do. This is something we learned to do. I'm always trying to find the external solution. I'm always wondering what's going to come through today. What can I look forward to today? Source, show me the signs. And yes, we live in a 3D reality. There is power in that. There is truth in that. But we create our vibration from within. And that ripples out into the world. And that is so powerful. The more that I remind myself of that and remind myself it's about coming back. Okay, it's about coming back. Okay, it's about coming back again. And just over and over, it becomes more of a habit. And we're still going to want those things to manifest. We're still going to be like, okay, where is it? But that activation enacts such just a powerful emotion and an emotional state that can come before the manifestation, and that brings the manifestation. Know that
Absolutely.
even if you are temporarily struggling, you will always have enough time to choose how you experience your reality. Like I said, you can always course correct. Consider this truth. Struggles, disappointments, or seeming delays are all part of the experience of life on life's terms. This too shall pass. When cool heads prevail and faith steers your course, treasure is never far away. Like you said, Sarah, it's right around the corner. Call on the goddess Ariane Rod when you begin to feel overwhelmed, and she will remind you of these truths. So there's your reading.
I love that. I just want to add as well, the period that you're in right now, even though there might be this sense of frustration, Spirit's also saying pay attention to the lessons that are coming up, because this is a very, very valuable period right before this like burst of this thing manifesting. This is like there's a lesson that's coming through right now, so tune into what that is.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yes.
So thanks for everyone for tuning in tonight. I'm with my good friend Sarah Smith. We're pulling cards. We're talking about our spiritual awakenings. We're talking about the healing modalities that we've learned and what we've gone through, and how we're creating the reality of our dreams through coming back to our power, coming back to ourselves, and using our voice and our knowing and sharing our truths and everything we're uncovering, despite feeling like not everyone is going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be scary. But
Yeah.
You're like,
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's like, that could really be, okay, for me, that's been, I think, one of the hardest parts on my journey. It's something that recently I'm really having to like look at head on. Is I think if you're on Earth and you feel like you're a visionary in whatever capacity, whatever that means for you, that you can see things that other people can't see, that you feel like you might be at the leading edge of something, it's like, as much as you want other people to just like get it and click with you and like see what you're seeing, that's honestly not the case. And like those two things can't really intertwine all the time. There are people that, you will manifest the right people that are going to click with you. Like, I'm so glad that me and Lindsay got connected, and there's other people that have come on my journey that just like get it. And you're like, okay. But in general, it's like for too long, if we're talking about using our voices in a judgmental world, for too long, it's like I was holding back what my voice was, because I'm like, this is too out there. This is going to be too weird. No one's going to get me, or this is too personal. This is too raw. I'm scared to share this with people. Like, this feels so vulnerable. This is really scary. Like, all of these things would bubble up where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to like not say anything. I'm just going to keep my voice small and not say anything.
Yeah.
Because it's like, ultimately what I was hoping for is when I began to express myself, I wanted that validation. I wanted people to be there and be like, I get it. I get it. I get you. I get you. Because for so long I had this feeling of being misunderstood in my journey.
Right.
And that's something that I'm learning to, like, I'm fully embracing now, because it comes with the job, right? It comes with the job of being a visionary and helping lead people. We often have to be able to see things other people don't see or maybe aren't ready to hear, and be okay with that and still be able to accept ourselves, because ultimately that's what matters. And the more that I'm able to embrace like why I'm here on earth, knowing that I belong on earth exactly as I am, I don't need to change myself or conform myself to fit in a box. More and more, it's like becoming more and more naturally for me to just show up and be myself. And if it's received, awesome. The right people are going to connect with it. And if not, also great. There's going to be other people that they'll be able to connect with, and that's fine. So,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, with each stage of my journey, however you want to define it, and actually looking back at going through the spiral and then going through the spiral again in practitioner training. And for those who are hopping on now, spiral is just a very deep healing process that finds trapped emotions within our chakra system that we didn't realize really cemented within us and allows us to clear them. But with each stage of that, I found this new level of not really giving an F what people thought, as long as I was feeling like I was helping people, if I was connected to love, if I was also deeply connected to my truth and what I believed. Nobody else needs to believe what you believe. Like, that was something that I always had an issue with growing up, was growing up in the church as a Christian. I always had this feeling like I don't want to create people, like more people in this religion. I want them to be able to choose what feels right to them. I don't want to go out and convince anyone. I just want to show up in my light and show up in my love. And then if people want to join, that's fabulous, but that's on them. And that's how I feel now. It's like, you always should second guess everything I'm saying, second guess whatever anyone else is saying, and follow what aligns for you. And that can change.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think having the freedom to do that is so important in this life. You bring up the church, and I can very much relate to that. And I mentioned in the beginning of this live stream, as I'm in level 1 right now, big focus the last couple of days has been around dogma and its inherent connection with shame, and how overall they typically need each other to function. And this isn't to say, I'm not trying to completely say that it's bad or demonize anybody's religion or anything like that, because I also think that it has a beautiful place in bringing structure for people and bringing a sense of safety and community. And sometimes people do need like guidelines to follow that help them function better in life. So nothing wrong with that. But the church that I grew up in specifically was very, it was fundamentalist. Everything was very black and white. It was very fear-based and tended to fear-monger over people rather than focusing on love. Yes, that was an aspect of it, but it was very much, you should believe in this because if you don't, something bad's going to happen.
Right.
And that was, when you're hearing stuff like that from childhood, it's like, it does create this sense of shame then when you're like trying to break out of this dogma, you're trying to grow out of it, you want to question things for yourself and grow in a direction that feels right for you. And that was something that was a wall that I kept hitting because I was trying to break out of it. I'm inherently a very curious person. And I love exploring different things and understanding people's perspectives and having different conversations. And I felt like I wasn't allowed to do that for a really long time. So yeah, that can be something that can be very limiting for people. And it's important to remember like your own compass and your own guidance system is so powerful and strong. We're all born with it. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer for us to reconnect with that and be able to trust that again. But when you do, it's like nothing can really shake you because you have such a deep connection with that, that it will help lead you and guide you to where you're supposed to go.
Yeah, I resonate with that so much because I felt like I was like, if I don't believe in this, there was a sense of shame if I didn't
Hmm.
do things to a T. And now that I'm seeing, because we talk a lot about eradicating the ego and limiting belief stories, but the ego is also a beautiful compass in itself, as long as it's
Hmm.
not just going unchecked.
Hmm.
Because when you have those feelings of shame or lower vibrational emotions, they have a deeper message to them to say, there's something not right here. We've all had that gut knowing, that intuition, that sense of like, I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's something off. So
Hmm.
if I was feeling that, whether it was at 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, but there's this whole structure, it's like, you will be loved if you do this.
Yeah,
And
very conditional.
right. So whatever you believe in, whatever is right for you is great.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I just wanted, it's so interesting where I am at 30 compared to where I was at 15. And all of the shame and all of the programming and all of the belief systems I've worked through thus far. And then you think, where am I going to be in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20
Yeah.
years? It's really incredible. So the biggest message is do what feels so good to you, and that is what is important. If you are not hurting anyone else and you are feeling lit up and your gut says hell yes and your heart is filled, that is what matters. And not everyone needs to understand, and that's okay.
Yeah, for sure. And if it's something where if you're in a position where you're feeling like you're not able to share that with people, that's also something that you can slowly begin to, hi Jill, begin to break out of, to like express yourself more and more, despite whatever judgment might be coming at you, whether it, if you grew up in a very fundamentalist community, but there's dogma it's not just religion. Dogma can show up
Exactly.
in so many different ways where we can get stuck in these systems and it becomes our identity, and we feel like we can't break out of it, or we can't say anything against it because this is the truth. Don't question this. This is irrefutable. So it again disconnects us from our own inner knowing, which is
Right.
like the most powerful thing.
It disempowers us to a space of not being able to trust our intuition.
Right.
And don't drive yourself crazy over this, because there's so many different areas we could talk about. But the best thing you can begin to do is just listen to what feels good and actually give yourself permission to do what feels good.
Absolutely.
So I am going to play a advertisement, and then I have Melody next, and then I have Jill. If anyone hops on and wants a card reading, Sarah and I are tag teaming it. So she's pulling from some of her decks, I'm pulling from some of my decks. We're seeing what Source has to say tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to WLFE DB Radio for hosting this show. Check them out. You can go on Facebook to like them. You can also follow me on Picture Perfect Mind on Facebook. Happy to work with you further in terms of energy healing, in terms of card pulls, in terms of one-on-one coaching, stress reduction. I want you to be able to move beyond limiting belief patterns, anything that is holding you back, anything that is dragging you down, so you can live the life that you deserve. So with that being said, let's go into a commercial.
Paratalk Radio is a member of radio.com. Download the app, search Paratalk Radio. One word. That's it. Pretty easy peasy. Radio.com.
WLFE DB Radio is on Spotify with all its great shows like Across the Pond, Inside the Drag Closet, Step into the Paranormal, Just Cindy, Where's My Sage, Unfiltered Talks with Bryce, Metal Mayhem ROC, Paratalk Radio, Real Talk with Dom, and more. So download the Spotify app today to stay connected to all your WLFE DB radio shows.
You've been listening to WLFE-DB.com, where our shows are your shows.
Hey guys and dolls, this is Casey DeVille, the better half of DeVille Inc., Baltimore, Maryland. If you're ever in Baltimore, stop in and see me and Tony. Invisible Brie, 5920 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Give us a call if you're in the area, 410-400-9641, or look us up on the web at DeVilleInc.com. DeVille Inc., where we specialize in you.
You're listening to WLFE DB Radio. Now, back to our program.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm here with my friend Sarah Smith as we pull cards, talk about our spiritual awakening, and ultimately talk about moving beyond limiting beliefs and anything that's no longer serving you so you can really feel good. That's the ultimate goal. So let's pull some cards for Melody next. If anyone wants a card pull, just comment, hop on, let us know.
Awesome.
Here's Melody.
Okay. Melody, hello. Great to connect with you. I'm feeling the Spirit Oracle deck for you. So with this one, I don't typically use the booklet. I'm going to pull a few cards and just see what channeled message wants to come through for you today. So what does Melody need to know today? What does she need to know in her journey? One more. Okay. Do you want to go first, Lindsay?
Okay, so 2 cards flew out right away. So from the Work Your Light Oracle deck, I feel like, Melody, I've pulled this card for you before, or I'm just having deja vu, but it's the Priestess card. How are you being called to step up and lead? To really own your power? To know that you've been training for this for lifetimes? To listen to your intuition, listen to your knowing, listen to what source is calling you to do, even in the smallest ways. It's like, I think we build things up to be like, it has to look like this, I have to do it this way, or I'm confused. And you don't need to know every step of the way, but the more you can just step into where am I being led, and to know that you are a leader in this world. And it doesn't, like we keep talking about, I think a major theme today is it doesn't have to be on a certain timeline. It can be on Source's timeline. But I'm getting this message that it's like you're holding back. The Priestess is a teacher dedicated to service, freedom, and leadership. You don't need to have it all together to lead. Trust me, I don't have it all together. No one wants a perfect angel who doesn't make any mistakes. Let your life be a message. Don't underestimate the power of sharing your story, being authentic. People don't want perfection. Like, that's what I have to learn over and over and over again. It doesn't have to look perfect. And honestly, if it does, it's boring. So how
Mhm.
do you begin to tap into your authentic self? It's by hearing someone else's journey that makes us feel less alone. Like, I also see a vision of you even like just sharing what you're going through on a daily basis with your family and what you're overcoming just by raising your children, and how you are, like, just the challenges that we face every day, so people can know that it's normal and that they don't have to be feeling shame in any which way. The difference between a follower and a leader is that a leader has the courage to go first. In stepping out, they shine a light on the path for others who ventured forward too. Don't fret too much about trying to work out who's in your tribe. Don't get stuck in age, income, hobbies, any of that. Look in the mirror. If you feel called to lead, chances are it's because you wanted someone to lead you at some point. And your tribe are longing for the same thing that you are. So what can they receive from you? You don't need anyone else's permission. You just need to do it. How are you being called to step up and lead? And then I also got the in-between reversed. So you might just feel like you're in a bit of a holding period, an in-between mode where you're trying to feel into where the best way is to do this. It's kind of like, I can't move forward right now, but I can't move back. This indecision can be crippling, but you can't stay forever in the in-between. The goddess Hecate offers you a sacred alignment task. Make a move. There's no wrong move here. As long as you are tapping into your purpose work, or tapping into love, or tapping into having the best intentions to help others, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you stumble or fall. You can always course correct. Bring love to the part of you that is afraid and has lost faith. You are not alone, as the goddess Hecate will not abandon you in the dark, nor will you remain there for long. Consider, as you move forward, the sacred challenge of trusting the magic that makes this world and your part in it sing with meaning. Don't be afraid to step into the dark. The goddess Hecate will raise her torch and show you the way out.
So good.
So, Sarah, I don't know what you have to add to that.
So yeah, similar message. It's just kind of, I think, flowing into this. So the 3 cards that you got Broken Heart in reversed. Hi, Catherine. You got Strategy in reversed. And then First Chakra, which is Archangel Michael. So the message that I'm feeling when I see the broken heart in reversed, it typically talks about a disappointment, a feeling of disappointment. And when I was tuning into this, I feel like you've been feeling disappointed in yourself. And this is very much just a self-judgment that you're having. Like, you're being way, way too hard on yourself right now. And it's causing almost a sense of heartache in a way where you're just beating yourself up and just being really hard on yourself. So I don't know if it's like there was a specific goal that you had that you feel like you didn't reach or didn't reach in a certain time, and you're beating yourself up for that. But Source wants to, and Spirit wants to remind you how loved you are and how divine your journey is, and that these feelings are very much self-inflicted, that the people around you are not looking at you with disappointment. That's your own self-judgment. And so moving into a place where you can forgive yourself and love on yourself, have compassion for yourself, know that you're doing your absolute best. And with the strategy being reversed, I think this sense, the feelings that you're feeling is then kind of like leading to this sense of like, okay, well, what's the point of moving forward? Like, I already messed up before, or like whatever it is that you feel like you didn't reach. So Spirit is saying, I'm going to put this upright to release that. to not give up on your goals and your dreams or whatever it is that you're feeling for yourself, and begin to, I'm hearing creation journaling. So this is going to be really important for you. Even just journaling in general is going to be very cathartic for you. Write a letter to yourself, like a love letter to yourself, essentially saying how proud you are of yourself. Give yourself some recognition for how much of a badass you are, and all the stuff that you do have and have accomplished. Give yourself way more credit for that. And in doing that, then you can shift that journaling into what is it that you're ready to create and bring into your life, and step back into that. But there needs to be this shift in energy first, where I think that letter to yourself is going to be very important. And then the first chakra with Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is a very protective archangel, so he can protect your home and make you feel safe and secure. The first chakra is the root chakra. So with this being upright, this is great. This is a great time for you to really root into Mother Earth, root into the here and now where you are, into the sense of safety that you have, that you're surrounded with, and give yourself the space to feel what you're feeling, process what you're feeling, and let it go. And if you do like a rooting meditation, you can sit outside, imagine roots growing into the earth, and when you're ready, you can release whatever disappointment you're feeling back into the earth, and let it go. So that is your message.
And the line was at 11111 when you said that.
Love it.
Love it.
So let us know how that resonates. I would love to hear how those cards, how that message resonates with you.
Absolutely. So then we have Jill next, and then we have Catherine. Say hi as you're hopping on. I also just wanted to mention briefly, I'm doing a 30-day Law of Attraction manifestation group. It's going to be a daily drip from me. I'm playing with it just to be able to build a container of magical women who want to manifest extraordinary things in their life. And it's only $11. We start April 12th. I'd love to have you a part of it. So if that is pinging for you, speaking to you, and you're like, yes, I'm ready to, as we are about a little over a year into the pandemic and everything that's felt stagnant, stuck, blocked, resistant, etc. Now is the time where we can really begin again. The spring equinox and this time of the year has always been, let's start fresh for me. So it's bigger than ever before. It's like, you don't need to play the same cycles out. You can connect to all of the magic, all of the gratitude. Hi, Kristen. Yes, Kristen is going to be on the group. So
awesome.
Whether you know about Law of Attraction or not, it's just going to be a container where you can accelerate. So
love it.
Love it. Okay, so Jill is next. Sarah, do you want to?
Okay, so I'm feeling drawn to the Oracle of the Heart for you. Similar to the last message, I don't read from a booklet. I'm going to see what cards come through and just let the message channel out. All right, so Jill, what does Jill need to know right now?
Okay, so I know Jill, she's my mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some stuff is going on in her life, and I am just like laughing at the cards that came out. So do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
You can go first. Yeah, that's really cool.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed. Love. Fulfillment. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Voyage. The last time Jill was on, she got the Lover's card.
I think I remember that. I think I was here for that. Yeah.
So you are just in a really fun, happy time in your life. Love is all around you. Love is coming into your life. You are already more cherished than you can possibly know. Indeed, you are a sacred vessel for love to flow through you when you stand in the center of it all. All is well, no matter what is happening around you, even if you are, worried about anything, worried if anything changes, projecting into the future, come back to the present moment. You know that there is nothing you need to do to deserve love. You are enough just as you are. The Creator is love, and in the depth of your soul, you are love. In matters of the heart and romance, all is healing or is already healed. In terms of self-love, your confidence and self-esteem are growing as you take time to cherish and care for yourself. Beautiful. What more could you want? I feel like you might be going on a trip soon. The bottom card was Voyage, so that's exciting. Fulfillment is at hand no matter what is occurring in your life. Put your attention on what is splendid, pleasurable, and luscious. Find bliss in the moment, love fully, deeply, without hesitation. Cherish your friendships. Fill your life with people, experiences, and places that give you delight. Let go of people and things that don't feel empowering. Drag your energy down. You no longer need to put the needs of others before yourself. If you've had any health issues, a ripe peach represents a return to better health. Savor your life with gusto and with grace. Experience and embrace life in all its permutations. If you want to start a new relationship, this card is an excellent omen for a great outcome.
Love it.
I'm just like, these two cards flew out, and I was like, so Sarah, do you have anything to add?
Yes, I do. Okay, so 4 cards came out for you. We got challenging times in reverse, which is great. That means that whatever challenges have been presenting themselves in your life, it's coming to pass. The storm is passing. You're moving into a much lighter area and chapter of your life now. You got giving and receiving. Next to, trying to get it without the light, giving and receiving, which came out next to sacral chakra. So that goes really well with what Lindsay just said, because this is very much, seeing these cards together is very much talking about like love and relationships. And then the last card is release, which I love this card. This card is gorgeous.
It reminds me of the Judgment card in the traditional tarot deck, where it's like releasing any judgment towards yourself or others.
Absolutely. So what I'm feeling for you is that maybe you feel like you've been in this period. It's like this almost desert-like period, and it's lasted for a really long time. And you're finally starting to like see the pond in the desert, and you're like, oh my gosh, and it's like you're ready to just like drink up this water. And if you've been feeling depleted, the giving and receiving card is reminding you through all relationships and friendships in your life to make sure that you are receiving as much as you are giving as much as you're receiving, and making sure that it's a very balanced energy so you don't feel overly depleted. But also, this is a reminder to reach out and ask for help if you feel like you need help with anything. Don't feel like you have to do it all alone. The sacral chakra came out upright, so this means that this is very flowing. As Lindsay said, this is going to be a very fun and playful period of your life. The sacral chakra is very much connected to creativity and playfulness, and that being open is like really, really good energy to have. And then finally, release. Overall, I'm not feeling too much heaviness from this reading, but I think whatever remnants might be left, like residual stuff that kind of like pops in here and there with like certain doubts or certain beliefs of like, oh, I have to like do this by myself, or like I got this, like no one helped, like stuff like that. Being a little bit more aware of that and conscious of that, and releasing that to then let this type of energy in where it's a fair exchange for you.
Because it's like we feel like we have to give so much, and it's It's so funny. It's like when we're over giving, that's sending a signal that we're not deserving, which I've found that I definitely err in that direction. Or if we're in scarcity lack mentality, either way, it comes out as we're over giving or hoarding. Either way.
Right.
So always the
Yeah.
reminder that you deserve all the good things.
Yes. Awesome.
That's so exciting.
I love it.
I
Feels
love
good.
it
Whatever's
so
happening
much.
feels good.
It feels good.
Mhm.
Love it. Okay, Catherine. And also, before we get into Catherine, Melody has a response.
Ooh, okay.
Definitely resonates. I've had blockages because of my pregnancy, but also from the beginning, I felt that I need to protect my energy so I can focus on my pregnancy and family that I have, but fully believe it is God's will to do anything I do in my sleep. This is my fourth child, have all boys, strong connection to this baby, and was a girl. So when we found out recently this is another boy,
Okay.
I felt disappointment, which made
Mhm.
me feel guilty. Let's see. But have
Mhm.
forgiven myself fully, and I'm excited for our new baby boy and looking for names, but maybe the letter to get rid of the rest of the energy that may still be around. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Melody, and don't be hard on yourself. It's okay. This
Yeah.
whole experience for you, like you've shared, was kind of a surprise in general, and there's nothing wrong with setting your hopes on something and then
Right.
and coming back to.
For sure. It's so easy for all of us in any capacity to have expectations and feel that disappointment. And then yeah, it's like the guilt kicks in immediately after and it's like, oh, I shouldn't feel that, but it's like, yeah, just be easy on yourself, have compassion for yourself. You're still just human. And God bless you. Congratulations. And I'm sending like with Archangel Michael coming up with the
So
root
much
chakra,
protection.
that's like very, very protective energy. And so if you want that added protection, just call on Archangel Michael. It's very like physical protection. So perfect to help you through this pregnancy as well. So yeah, congratulations.
Yay. Congratulations. And then Jill says, this is all so amazing, very relevant. Thank you so much for the confirmation of how I'm feeling. You're welcome, Jill.
Awesome.
It's been so good. Okay, so now we have about 8 minutes left in the show. So let's pop into Catherine. I think we'll wrap up with this one tonight.
All right, perfect. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Catherine.
Excited to read from you. I am definitely feeling Sacred Rebels for you. So that is what we're going to do. Sacred Rebels. I have been doing only one card pulls because I read the book and these cards are so deep. And I will read the book. It also comes with a proclamation that you can say to begin a healing process if that calls to you. Okay. What does Catherine need to know? Okay, you got defend to the end, the worthwhile. Defend to the end, the worthwhile. All right. Let's look this up. Okay, Catherine. Beneath the illusions, pretty as they may seem, you know what is real. Beneath the lies, sweet though they may sound, you know what is worthwhile. All that is genuinely and truly essential for the heart to throb with life is worthwhile. Anything that dulls it or suffocates its vibrant aliveness must be questioned, challenged, and more than likely cast aside, for the heart is our key to living an authentic life. What is there once that was compromised? Without its foundation of truth, we are to be forever lost in confusion, doubt, and despair. But you are a sacred warrior. You are a defender of the heart. You have cried genuine tears of your own grief and also the grief of the world. You have raged at injustice and oppression in your own life and in the world. You have felt the need to protect the presence of love, for whilst it is exceptionally powerful, it can too easily be smothered under lies and fear. The sacred warrior must not heed the dangerous voices that say, stop being so sensitive, stop making such a big deal out of things. Love is the biggest deal there is. What else is worth being so sensitive about? The sacred warrior is vigilant that the presence of love is not chipped away by fear, criticism, doubt, or untruths. Even if others find the unflinching honesty of your feelings difficult to handle or digest, even if those feelings are expressed with gentleness and compassion, the sacred warrior still needs to honor the task of being more faithful to love than anything else. This oracle brings guidance to honor even the smallest steps in your path of being a sacred warrior. They are no less important than the most noticeable or dramatic actions on your path. One single misstep can begin a landslide. So being vigilant with what is meaningful and what is truthful, even in the smallest and seemingly most insignificant ways, strengthens the warrior and prevents this darkness from gaining a stronghold in your life. This darkness is also intelligent. It will tell you that it doesn't matter, that this is one time that you can forget what you promised, that you are just one person, and so you can't make a difference anyways. That darkness may lure you into a sleepy ambivalence and try to dull your light. You have to honor this with love and honor this with truth, even if it seems easier not to in the moment. The sacred warrior still finds joy and humor in this life to prevent the seriousness of the tasks from stifling your heart that just wants to live and be free. That joy brings strength to the warrior and an expanded, relaxed awareness that can sense the presence of fear and immediately respond to it with fierce compassion. The sacred warrior will not allow fear to gain a stronghold within its heart. You are being asked to stay strong and stand your ground. This might be in a big emotional journey that feels like the fight of your life. It may be in a matter that does not seem to hold much importance. Perhaps, for example, you are contemplating an idea that you feel could be something, but those around you declare that it's nothing, too much, too impractical. However, what is happening, or soon to be happening, is inevitable and worthwhile. So hold tight, ask for help through this healing process below, stay true to the sacred warrior of love that you are, and defend to the end all that is worthwhile. Whew, okay, so I'm going to get into the healing process, but I just want to touch base with this. This is definitely a card that is recognizing the way that you feel the weight of the world around you, especially with everything going on. It's obviously been an extremely intense year for everybody. And so that's brought up so much within us as individuals and as the collective, especially if you're an empath. It's like, it really felt like going through a dark night of the soul. And if you're feeling this and this is resonating with you, this is a guidance to stay, as it's saying, to stay hold to what is true and worthwhile for you, and to know that there is a light after this, that everything that you've been going through recently, you're gaining so much wisdom. The things that you feel are unjust that really strike a chord in you, they're not silly, they're not stupid, they're not too big. They're all those things that you might be telling yourself or others might be telling you are not true. There's a reason why you carry this with you. And this is also a reminder to let some of that burden go, that it's not 100% your responsibility. You are a part of the collective. You feel this call in this call to help the collective, but it's not 100% on you. So don't feel like you have to carry that entire weight of the world. If you want to do this healing process, you can place your hand on your heart and say, I call upon the sacred warriors of unconditional love. I ask for your support, protection, assistance, and intervention on my behalf through unconditional love, that what is truly worthwhile for the light and life of the heart. May it be protected and preserved within me and within the world for the greater good. through my own free will, so be it. And you can watch this back and repeat that back to yourself. And yeah, and make sure that you're also finding the support around you to not feel like you have to carry this all with you. I do have a free Facebook group called the Lionheart Center, which is a safe space for people wherever they are in their life journey. So if you feel called to join that, I would love to have you and help support you on this journey. Yeah.
And
I don't want to go too much longer.
Yeah, no, I totally resonate with all of that and feel that. And you also, you're birthing a new age. You're birthing, you with whatever you do are bringing in the age of Lumeria and heaven on earth. And the biggest thing that I'm feeling right now and dealing with all of your heaviness or dealing with your things is whatever is coming up is celebrate and play and really, really care for yourself in all of that as often as you can, because you're just being tasked. So Catherine says, as we wrap up, this is crazy. Within the last couple of months, I got my stepson a job at a workplace. I kept being asked for recommendations, but I wasn't something I like to do. So I knew he would be amazing. He was let go for no reason. Someone incompetent at the job was kept. It made no sense to me. I have really been struggling being okay working for someone that showed their true colors. Oop. Trying to. Your comment just dropped off. I finally made the decision to put my 2 weeks in today. And I'm just like not finding the rest of your comment, but wow, Catherine, sending you so much love. Know that both myself and Sarah are here. If you want to join Rock Your Fear or the Lionheart Center, they're both free Facebook groups. Happy to get to know you more and sending you love in all of that and knowing that you are always supported. You are always loved, regardless of whatever you are going through. So thank you, Sarah, for being on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Because I feel like we could do this for hours, but we could do this more often. So I love it. I am feeling almost called to start a second radio show, one that focuses specifically on messages and card pulls and one that focuses more on conversations. But whatever happens. And she said, I had a really good feeling about an interview. Yay! Birthday's coming up.
Awesome. Yeah, so just play. Yeah, let yourself have fun. And it's all good.
And thank you everyone for tuning in. Sarah and I will always continue to be working together. We have a lot of similarities. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. And again, if anyone wants to join the Lionheart Center, I would love to keep connecting with you guys as I'm building that community over there.
Yes. Okay. Love you. Have a great night, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for joining Card Pulls and Coffee with Lindsay. Every episode is a joy sprung from a tree of life. We hope you'll join us next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Remember to share and like and follow. Until next week, let the stars you follow keep you safe.
You've been listening to WLFE-DB.com, where our shows are your shows.